through our travels, I've spoken at many events with manufacturers where the question of how they design the quick lube and all that comes up, and the quick lube isn't profitable. And I've offered manufacturers, like I have had, one that I recall is Ford. Like the Ford executives were there and they came up to me after and I said, hey, call me. I can explain to you how this can work for you and for the dealer. Never called. Mm-hmm. But they force this quick lube thing on them that doesn't, the thing they're trying to accomplish is they're trying to get customers through quickly. Mm-hmm. But there's a way to do that and accomplish being profitable and having a better customer experience. Having the most customers handled by the least talented advisors that are fit, to keep a quick lube advisor, sometimes it's like 50% of the gross you have to pay them. They're not creating anything out of it. It's a lesson in deduction.
Yeah.
In the end is what happens. The better you do, the worse you do.
Right.
You know what the whole thing kind of reminds me of when the manufacturer does a decree? It's kind of like Google Translate, right? And no, this isn't a joke. Like this is serious as a heart attack. But it's like you put the information into Google Translate and it gives you the Spanish version or like whatever it is, but it's not the real Spanish version, right? Like, so sometimes I'll do that Google Translate thing with my fiance and I'll be like, is this right? She's like, well, it's kind of right, but it's not really how the people talk. And I always think that the manufacturer, they do the Google Translate version and it's like their thought is, well, the customer says that we take too long. Mm-hmm. And like, well, what if we had multiple people working on the thing? Like Google Translate would say that that's what you would do is you'd have two people working on the car. They I don't know. It's like a target that they just constantly miss to the right or something like that. But it's super interesting how consistently off it is.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a manufacturer program hit it on the head. And now, Hoagie was I got to listen in on his master class and he's almost making a joke. He's like, the advisors have to open up like 25 different software programs just to write one RO. And those all come down from like manufacturer decrees and everything like that. It's like, oh, you got to have this latest and greatest thing. Their goal, of course, is that they want a good customer. Well, they want to sell more cars, to your point. But it's so crazy how it's like they regularly always miss to the right. Like it's always just off.
Yeah, software is a great example of that, right? Like there's so many softwares that promise all these different outcomes, right? And all these different metrics. And the truth of the matter is
it's like American politics. It's like they promise it when they're running for office, but nobody ever goes back and checks. Except for us. Like how many times do we put something in place and the hours per RO or the numbers, the CSI goes down, and nobody makes that connection that disruption in the system or the process is causing that.